Hey everybody, welcome to our kitchen island video.
Hi, this is the result of several months of work, and the idea that I had here was I wanted a nice open concept. It's a very small house. Our living area is only about 1,400 square feet, which is 1,100 down here and about 300 upstairs. So what I wanted was something that where I had a really good work surface. Lots of countertop to work on. With the light, I have my plugins right here, so I can plug something in, do my hot pot or any of that kind of thing. Nice lighting. I made the light go down to this end, so it's only over this part, so that you know, taller people could work here and not hit your head, all kinds of things. But the idea was nice wide space. It's on wheels. It took 8 of them. Originally I tried to do it with 4, but it was way too heavy. So it's got 2 on the other side. These come off, so I can just real easily remove the wheels, put them in a box. So you won't see those once it's sitting there, but I can always pick it up and move it if we want to get the refrigerator in and out, which, as you can see, the refrigerator's not here right now. But the idea was that the cook could be in with everybody. I can see the TV good, I can talk to all the people, they can talk to me. And because the area is so small, I wanted it to be an eat-in kitchen, so what are you going to do for a table? Well, a table by itself takes up a lot of space that you're not at most of the time. So I built the table onto the island, so I have room for 4, and I really could probably put 6 stools here if you used a different thing than what we bought. But you can sit here, this, so all the people who are always having trouble getting up onto the thing, you can hold on to it, and also your drink don't get shoved over there. So there's still plenty of room for your plate, and it just, this was my baby. This is my idea, and it kind of makes it a showpiece for your kitchen. So I really like it. I think it came out really good. It took, what, 4, 5 months? It took a long time.
At least 5 months we've been working on it.
Yeah, it took a lot longer than it looks like. It wouldn't have to, but you know, there was a lot of time waiting for all the wood to dry. This is, all the wood from this thing came out of our mill. I did not buy any wood for this except just the plywood for the drawers. Everything else is just whatever was laying there. There's some leftover pine from when we were going to do the other style, but the inside of the drawers is the only thing that came from a store. All of this came from our thing.
Woodland Mills HM126 sawmill.
Yeah, the Woodland Mills HM126. Good that you threw that in because I didn't know the answer. But yeah, it made all the rest of it. As you can see, all the planking underneath, everything. And so it's 3 drawers, 3 bays, doors as yet to be made, like all the doors here. But yeah, I love it. It's gonna hold all my stuff, give me a great workspace, and I can see all the people.
Okay, so it's this is red oak, this is white oak,
Yeah.
and this is red oak, and then pretty much the rest of it is mostly red oak, right?
I know this side's red oak. I assume that that's red oak, but I'm not that good with
This is definitely red
species of
oak.
wood. Yeah, and
It's like there's some
this is,
hickory in the bottom there, in the
there
sides.
probably is hickory in it somewhere, because I know there is. Hickory was laying around at the time. Literally, the idea for this was born out of every time he got down to the bottom of the stack, the last piece was just whatever thickness was there. So we got these big pieces and these really thick pieces that you'd have to either plane down to match those or whatever. So these 3 are, I think, about 1 3/8 inches, and this one's about 1 inch. These 2 are 1 1/4 inches. I'm not even sure what the ones under there are, but they're at least 1 inch.
Okay, so as this dried, right, it did split.
Oh yeah.
And you filled it with black epoxy?
Yeah, I dyed my epoxy black, and my dad's like, well, it's still split. You need to fill it. And I'm like, it is filled, Dad. He's like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, it's black. I filled all the cracks with black, so they still look like cracks, but they're not. So.
Okay, so I think at this point, we'll get to show you the process of this. We start with just some 4x4s laid out.
Yeah.
And again, all of this wood came off the HM126. It's all been drying.
Yeah, for a long time.
And we finally got it together. About, at least 5 months of work.
Yeah, so. It took a long time.
All right, well, enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Have a good one.
See ya. Okay, so today I'm going to start a project. I'm going to try to build the island that goes in the middle of the kitchen, and it will sit right here in this area and be centered under the lights. It'll end right about there and goes up, leave a pretty good space in front of that, and then it comes to about the end of the light, which is right about here. So that's what we're going to work on today, and for probably several days, and we'll see what happens. Get y'all set up on a time lapse. Oh, and there's the plan. I don't know how well that shows up, but that's the basics of the plan. We'll see what really happens in a minute. Okay, so I've been working on building the island, and what we have done today, which was just on that time lapse, is I've put the rails and the drawer glides on, which I put on ahead of time. Now I'm going to measure this distance, cut out the bottoms, put the sides, put the drawers together, and put them in. After which, when we get enough wood, I'll put this top on, then I'll space it out and mount an overhang, so I'll have dual counter height. So on this side I'll have a short, about 12 to 14 inch bar with some overhang, so it should be 16 to 18 inches wide for a countertop to sit at, and that makes the living room area in conjunction with the kitchen area, so you can watch TV, eat, whatever. We don't have a dining room table because, as you can see as you look around, we don't have a lot of space for that, so kind of building it into the kitchen. So we'll continue with the drawer building next.
All right, so you got the drawers in on our island. You want to pull one of them out and show us?
Nice wide deep drawer. One of the things this house has is it's really heavy on drawers everywhere, but I kind of like that. And it makes it look really cool.
And every bit of this wood came off of this property and off that Woodland Mills HM126.
Absolutely. And it's all solid oak.
Awesome.
Because that's how it came out.
Do a walk around. So we still have to do the top, obviously.
Yeah.
But the chairs will go under this side, and it'll double as an island and kitchen table. It's on wheels, so we can raise up and move it anywhere we want to. Easy enough. Nice job, Maggie.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, so continuing to work on the island for the kitchen. As you can see, we've got all the boards for the top in place, the two for the countertop, eating counter. Anyway, we're gonna put these little feet here, and I'll get them all rounded out. Good thing. I'm gonna mount it so that right here and right there on these two, I'll have two extra sets of wheels, because the wheels only hold 600 pounds and this thing is pretty heavy. Plus, with the counter being mounted on it here, I don't want it to be able to overbalance. So I'll put that out just a little bit. That should really help stabilize this thing and make it easy to move around the kitchen if we ever feel like having it out of the way for a minute. So, let's just get to work. So, I am getting ready to start working on the kitchen island countertop, and my router sled that I built, which is this lovely little jewel here, is not going to be wide enough. It's going to be a pain. So, in keeping with the tradition of using whatever junk is available, let's see if I can get this to film right there. What I plan to use now is, Rob went and found me some 2 pieces of this, but it's very flexible. And I don't even know what it is. I don't know what it came off of. I know nothing. So what I have is 2 old curtain rods, and they are not so flexible. And this has a fold, so I just kind of plan to shove it down in there. And as you can see, or at least hopefully you can see, this no longer is flexible. It doesn't twist and turn. So if I have 2 of them set like that, then I should be able took my router sled. If I set them right, I'll be able to slide it in from the end and have it put right there. There we go. Let's see if you can get that angle. You can see where it will slide under there. Now you won't be able to spin it around a whole lot, but that might be good because I had trouble with that before. And that should work. So all I have to do is set these things far enough from the edge that I can set the router down in there and get going. And that should make this thing, I don't know. These are, well, let's see if it says. These say these are 60 inches, so I can make this thing pretty wide now. Hopefully. Stay tuned, we'll see what happens. So, like everything, I've had to make a few adjustments. Doing stuff built out of just whatever's laying around has its downsides, and setup is one of them. So, what I think I'm going to do is move these, which are bolted onto the ends of the table. I'm gonna move them out here, so make that wider, because that thing's plenty wide enough to go across the whole thing. So it's just gonna take me a little bit of time to assemble this, put the stop blocks on it, and you can see it's very simple if you decide to do one yourself. So I've just bolted it right straight through there. Then I screwed a stop block down through the top so it just can't slide off the ends while you're pushing it around. And wax, which in my case turned out to just be shoe polish. So not a big deal. Still ultra cheap. It's just what's laying around, and these things do seem to make it a much more solid piece. So I think this is gonna work. It's just gonna take a lot of time to get it together. So stay tuned. So I started this revamping the router sled project at about 10:30 this morning, and it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's taken me about 3.5 hours to adjust the table, change all my setup here. I've got it set so this is obviously 3.5 inches deep, and I can put something under the boards to make them thinner, bring them up to it. If I needed to, if I ever got somebody who wanted another tall thing, I can move this up a little bit. I just don't want to make anything thicker than that. The table itself is 65 inches long, and that leaves me about 45 inches in the middle, so I can make it work. I still don't know where these pieces of red metal came from, but they're here. I found some wheels that we weren't using on anything and put them there, so every time the thing gets a little cockeyed, it wouldn't bind up. It'd still be able to slide. They're on both sides. And if I ever decided I really did have to do something wider, this set right here can move. So I don't think I'll need that, but the alternative was cutting off this end, and I wasn't going to figure out how to do that. I don't really need to. Anyway, once again, Kiwi shoe polish to the rescue. Everything slides super easy, glides, because these are the same boards, so they're still all polished up. So everything looks good. So tomorrow I'll be back with some countertop boards, and we'll start making that nice and level, and or reasonably level and smooth. So Anyway, that's it. We'll start the next portion of this adventure tomorrow. Thanks for watching. All right, so this morning I am getting ready to start working on the kitchen island, and I'm working on this top. So I got to make these 3 boards flat and all the same thickness, and then run them through an edger, glue them together, turn them into a countertop. Stay tuned while we see what happens. Okay, so today is day 2 of working on the countertop, and I've got it all sort of flattened here. It's been kind of a pain. It's very up and down situation. So now I've got them all to about the same thickness, and I'm getting ready to carry them over and run them through the planer and see if I can get it all where I can start assembling it. Okay, it is Sunday, January 23rd, my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Anyway, it's time to start taking the big pieces out of all the clamps. So there they are. That's the top piece. That'll be the bar counter where we eat. And here's the lower counter of the island, which is the prep counter. And I will be taking it all out of these and show you what it all looks like in a bit. So, it is Sunday afternoon, January 23rd. Happy birthday, Mom. Anyway, I've got all the clamps off, and there's still sanding and some other stuff to do, but she's looking pretty darn good. Got to fill in some of the cracks and some other areas where she's gonna need a little bit of help, but that's the big one. And then way over here we have the smaller eating countertop, and she looks real good too. Get them all trimmed down, sanded, fill all the little cracks. There's all kinds of stuff. Big old knot hole I gotta fill. Anyway, that's what I'll work on next, and after that, route it, seal it with Danish oil, let the Danish oil dry, then put 5 or 6 coats of wipe-on poly on it, and that will be our countertop. Stay tuned. Well, it's beginning to come together. It's right at about the most nerve-wracking part. I've got to drill the holes to put that together, and then there'll be a railing that I put across that'll cover all that, and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. the almost finished product. Still gotta work on these doors for the front, but hey, everything in here needs doors. This looks good, even if I do say so myself. Hi everybody, getting ready to put probably 4 or 5 coats of wipe-on poly, because wipe-on poly is really thin. So that would be 5 coats would be like 2.5 coats of regular poly. So I might put 6 coats, put 3 coats to get a really hard shell on it. And after that, the only thing that'll be left is just to put the doors on it. Other than that, we'll start using it and this thing's ready to go. Anyway, stay tuned. Hello people. Anyway, I'm done with the first coat now. So gotta let that dry for a couple hours, then lightly sand it, put another one on. Just a little public service announcement. The reason that I took the paper towel I was using for the wipe on, I put it inside one glove, put it inside the other glove. Now I'm gonna throw this outside. If you could feel this, you would actually feel the warmth of that. It builds heat. So if you put these in trash and you stack a lot of this together, it really will spontaneously combust. So always dispose of these properly. It save you a lot of heartache if you get a fire. So anyway, that's the PSA.
Be safe.
Stay tuned and be safe.
All right, well, thanks for watching our kitchen island video. Again, we made this all with the HM126 sawmill and a whole lot of time and patience.
Yeah.
If there's anything that you have a specific question about, put it in the comments. We love your comments. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
See ya.
Have a good one, y'all.